Good evening, everyone. I hope that you all had a marvelous Monday. If not, I hope just my lesson for today offers you just a. Today, we are going to go over skip counting. So, today's topic is skip to my count. So, when we get enough people in and you heart this message and let me know that you can hear me, we'll get started. Hello, hello, hello. If you're just now tuning in, if you could heart or click like to let me know that you can hear me and we'll get started. Good evening. If you're just now tuning in, if you could please heart or like the message above to let me know that you can hear me and we can get started. Thank you for tuning in for the online tutoring session. If you can hear me, please like, heart, or thumbs up so that we can get started. Thank you so much. Let's get started. Back to basics. Skip to my count. First up, we have what will we be learning today? Odds versus evens. Give me fives, which means we're going to be counting by fives. And unique tools on how to skip count with basic math facts. First up are our odds and our evens. For odd numbers, all odds start first with the number 1. And they end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So in order for it to be odd, it must be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and it must end in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Even numbers. Evens starts at 0. Evens end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or a 0. So Anytime you are looking for evens or counting by evens, they must start with the number 0 and have 2, 4, 6, and 8, and then end in a 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, the great thing about odds and evens, they both add 2 to get to the next number in the count. For example, if we're counting by odds, as you can see, from 1 to 3, we add 2. From 3 to 5, we add 2. From 13 to 15, we add 2. And from 17 to 19, we add 2. And this is how you count by odds. The other example is counting by 2 with evens. You start with 0, add 2 gets you to 2, add 2 gets you to 4. And if you are to go from 12 to 14, you're continuously adding 2. Notice the difference between odds and evens. They're ending in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, or 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Next up, give me fives. Fives, of course, start with the number 5. Fives end in 5 or 0. So in order to know what number, if it's divisible by 5 or is a multiple by 5, or you skip counting to 5, it must end in 5 and it must end in 0. Now, 2 quick cool facts. If it's an odd multiple, meaning it's the first, the third, the fifth, the seventh, the ninth, and so forth and so on, if it's an odd multiple or odd skip, it will end in 5. So the third skip and the seventh skip both end in 5. So the third multiple or third skip is 15. The seventh multiple or seventh skip is 35. Even multiples or skips, they end in 0. So that could be the second skip, the fourth skip, the eighth skip, the 16th skip. If it's the second, the fourth, the sixth, the eighth, and so forth in even counts, it will always end in 0. For example, the fourth multiple of skip is 20. The eighth multiple skip is 40. The 20th multiple skip is 100. So whenever you're counting by fives, make sure you are counting 5 or 0. And a great way to do it is to make up a song. So for me, I always used to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And that used to be my skipping count song to help me memorize or remember my skip count by fives. Unique skip count facts for basic math facts. Here are unique tools that you can use in order to help you and your child to skip count. First up would be number lines. You would take a line, make different tick marks, and in those tick marks, you can skip by showing that you're adding by 2, adding by 3, adding by 4, and so forth and so on. And so whenever you're doing the skip count, notice that you are making a repetitive pattern, a number pattern, like we did last week. And in that number pattern, you're either adding or subtracting. But more likely when you're skip counting forward, it's adding. Skip counting backwards is subtracting. Next would be number charts. Number charts are great for lining up how the number should look. And so, say for instance, you have a box square, and each box has its own individual square. In those squares, you could do missing numbers. So, say for instance, you're learning how to skip count by threes. Great way to do missing numbers is to say, for instance, you have 3, 6, skip a number 12, 15, skip a number 21. Notice that the ones that you skip are the ones that are being skipped or missing are the ones that you need to fill in. And that the skip counting of adding 3 will help you remember that 3, 6 after 6 would be 9, because 9 comes between 6 and 15 when you're counting by threes. Mr. or Miss Caterpillar. Now, that is when you are taking a a very long loops of circles, and is either a loop of circles or a loop of chain with little feet or with no feet at all. And I call it the Mr. and Miss Caterpillar because you could either do it as a guy or you could do it as a girl. And what you do is the same thing you would do for the number charts, but to make it a little more friendly, you can cut up the circles and then connect those circles into the correct order in order to make your big caterpillar. Favorite objects. You can use marbles, you can use pennies, you can use nickels, you can use Skittles. Anything that is of fun to you or to the child of learning how to skip count, you can easily do with any of those objects. And what's great about them, you can group them into different sizes so that way you know, okay, I'm counting by threes, I'm counting by fives, I'm counting by tens. And the more you do it, the more the numbers become repetitive to where you can remember what those numbers look like. Counting cubes, rods, and squares. You can get those from Amazon, Staples, any teacher store, and they come in like little cubes, long rods, and squares. The cubes are considered ones units, rods are 10 units, and squares are 100 units. And it teaches the child to count by ones and tens and hundreds. And so you can also use the cubes for when you want to count by twos and threes and fours and fives and all the other ones that are kind of like maybe a struggle, such as six, sevens, and eights. You can also use those as well, the counting cubes as well, for skip counting for sixes, sevens, and eights. Last but certainly not least, our hands. There are videos and as well as different technique methods that allows you to do your skip counts by hand. My favorite one that I like to do are nines by hand, because you literally can do your nines from 1 to 10 from left to right on both hands. Here's an example. Okay, example is 9 times 4 equals 36. So from left to right, starting with your thumb, with your palms facing you, you would go 1 at your thumb, 2 at your index, 3 at your middle, and 4 at your ring finger. Once you get to that ring finger, you're going to bend it down. Now, the numbers to the left of your ring finger, those are considered your tens. Those are the ones you count. The bent finger, you do not count as tens or ones. It stays as a placeholder to where you know what side is going to be the tens and which side is going to be the ones. So you have 3 tens to your left and you have 6 ones to your right. So then you can count starting with your thumb, 10, 20, 30. Do not count the bent number, then bent finger. Then after 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. And so you can easily do your nines on your hand 1 through 10 by just simply bending a finger. All right, guys, you know exactly what time this is. It is live online tutoring session. If you have any questions or concerns, anything that you need, let me know, and I am here to help. Good to see you, Dr. K. Welcome. Hey, Alicia. Glad you're here. Okay, guys, I am going to go through my information once again so you guys can see it because I just realized that it was not showing on the video. So let's go over it one more time, shall we? What we will be learning today, of course, it is odd versus evens. Give me fives, skip counting by fives, as well as different unique ways to skip count for basic math facts. First up is odds versus evens. Odds. All odds start first with 1. Now, if you're skip counting With odds, you can start at 1 or you can go through different numbers that involves the number 1. But all odds start at 1. All odds end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So the first 5 odds are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then after that, it should end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, such as 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Another set, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29. If it ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, it is an odd number. Evens. Evens starts with 0. No matter where you flip it or turn it, they will always start with 0. Now, you can, of course, start it at 2, but the original start point of all evens is the number 0. Once you count by 2, 4, 6, 8, and start with 0 or start with 2, then the numbers should end in 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0 after the number 8. So, for example, you have 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, or 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So any number that is even, it starts with a 0. It starts with the number 0. But once you get past the number 8, you start back over with 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, what odds and evens both have in common? They both add 2 to get to the next number. So as you can see, whether it's 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, or 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8, all of them add 2 in order to get to the next number. Give me 5s. Skip counting by 5. Well, of course, if you're going to skip count by 5, you first have to start with what? The number 5. Also, anytime you're counting by 5s, it starts with 5, and then the numbers after 5 have to either end in 5 or end in 0. Cool fun facts to know is that the odd multiples or skips, they end in 5. Such as the third multiple is 15 and the seventh multiple is 35. So anything like we referenced earlier, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, if it ends in those numbers or are those numbers, the multiples of 5 will end in 5. Whereas the multiples of even numbers, those will end in 0. For example, you have the fourth multiple as 20, the eighth multiple as 40, the 20th multiple as 100. So anything that ends in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, their multiples of 5 will always end in 0. Next up are unique skip counts for basic math facts. You have the number lines, number charts, Mr. and Miss Caterpillar. Now, the difference between the number charts and Mr. and Miss Caterpillar, you can take Mr. or Miss Caterpillar, whether you want a girl caterpillar or a boy caterpillar, and you take each circle and you cut those circles up and you mix them together. And what you can do is chain them together by putting them back in order. So say, for instance, I'm doing the skip count of 5. and I know that I mixed all my numbers up. Well, we know that once you do 5, next should be 10. And then after 10 is 15. After 15 is 20. After 20 is 25. And you keep counting by 5 and reconnecting the caterpillar until it's a full caterpillar again. Another thing is using your favorite objects. Use candy, use marbles, use money, anything that will help you see or visualize what the skip count looks like is a great tool to use in order to achieve the memory and remembering the skip count. Also, great tools to use would be counting cubes, which are units of 1, counting rods, which are units of 10, counting by tens. Remember that from last week? And then the counting squares, which are units of 100. And so you can count by ones, tens, and 100s with the cubes, rods, and squares. And also with the cubes, you can count by 1 through 9. So either way, you can use those counting cubes in order to help you, again, remember your skip count. And speaking of nines, did you know that you can remember your 9 times table 1 through 10 by using your hands? Here's an example. For example, we have 9 times 4, which equals 36. So, if you have your hands in front of you, palm faced up, starting with your thumb, you will count 1, thumb, 2, index finger, 3, middle finger, 4, ring finger. Bend the ring finger. Once you bend that ring finger, know that you will not count that finger. You will not count it for your tens. You will not count it for your ones. So the fingers to your left that are standing up and standing out, those are considered your tens. The fingers that are to the right of the bent finger, those are considered your ones. So now, if we're doing 9 times 4, your fourth finger, which is your ring finger, should be bent. And you will start off by counting by tens, which is 10, 20, 30. Skip the bent finger, then start counting by ones. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. And so anytime you want to learn and remember your nines 1 through 10, always start palms up with your hands. All right, guys, any questions, concerns? If you have any math questions, I am here to help. Again, comment below any math questions. And I'm hoping you're having a marvelous Monday. Hello, everyone. If you are still listening and watching, we are now in the live online tutoring service session of this live. If you have any questions, any math questions, all the way up to pre-calculus, I am here to help. Have a marvelous Monday. Good evening. If you are just now tuning in, I have already completed the tutoring session of skip counting. You can use the YouTube video or the Facebook video to rewind and see that portion. If you have any live online tutoring session questions, I am here to help. Any question at all. All math questions are significant and important. So if you need anything, I am here to help. Have a marvelous Monday. Good evening. If you're just tuning in, we are in the middle of the live online tutoring session. If you have any questions, any math questions up to pre-calculus, I am here to help. If you have any questions on skip counting, if you have any questions on adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, if you have any math questions, no math question is insignificant. All math questions are important. I am here to help, and I look forward to helping you. Thank you, and have a marvelous Monday. Hello, everyone that are just tuning in. If you are wanting to watch the skip count portion of the live, hello, everyone that are just tuning. Sorry about that. If you are wanting to watch the skip count portion of the live, you can rewind the video on YouTube. Once you have completed watching the skip count portion, if you have any questions on skip counting, you are free to comment below, or if you have any math questions, no math question is insignificant. It is always important to ask any math question. If you have that question, please comment below. I am here to help. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday. I look forward to hearing from you. Good evening. If you are just tuning in, we have completed the skip count portion of this live. But if you are wanting to watch that portion, you can rewind it on our YouTube page with the link listed below in the Facebook and the YouTube pages. Now, we are still here live for online tutoring session. If you have any math questions, no math question is insignificant. All of them. And I do mean all of them. Even if it's simple as 1 + 1 is 2. To you, it may be simple. To others, it may not be, but all math questions are important. So I am here to help with all of your mathematical needs. If you have any questions, please comment below. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday. I'm here to help you. Great question, Miss Sparkle. One of my viewers asked, will there be videos or just audio sessions? What I would say is that they are audio sessions, but audio sessions can be um, those audio sessions can be accompanied with visuals, such as my handy dandy whiteboard. With this whiteboard, I'll be able to give visual as well as auditorial or audible um, tutoring sessions. So that way I am able to show as well as explain what I am tutoring. So, say for instance, you have questions on 2 times 5. So, we have 2 times 5. 2 times 5 could be 2 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 2. And how I can demonstrate that would be, say, for instance, you have cookies, and those cookies need to be divided into 2 groups of 5. Well, one group of cookies of 5 would look like this, and another group of cookies of 5 would look like below. And then what I would do is help you count them by either twos or fives. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 5, 10. Does that help answer your question, Miss Sparkle? No problem. Of course, I'm always here to help. All right, guys, if you have any other questions, again, this is live online tutoring sessions. If you have any math questions, all math questions are important and they are very significant. I am here to help with any question that you have. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday. I look forward to helping you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, we are going through the live online tutorial session portion of this online live. So, if you have any questions, any math questions, because all math questions are significant and important, please comment below, and I will be here to help and assist you with that. Than that, have a marvelous Monday. I'm here to help. Thank you. Good evening, all those who have just tuned in. If you are wanting to watch the skip count portion of this live, you can rewind the video on our YouTube page with the link in the description of the YouTube page as well as the Facebook Live page. Other than that, we are in the middle of our live tutoring session at the moment. So if you have any questions, any math questions at all, I am here to help. We are 30 minutes in left on the countdown of this live online tutoring session. Again, if you have any questions, I am here to help. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday. I look forward to hearing from you. Hello, everyone. If you're just now tuning in, we have already completed the skip count portion of the live. But if you would like to see it, you can rewind the video on our YouTube page. The link is listed below in our Facebook and our YouTube live page screens. Other than that, right now we are continuing on into our live stream tutoring session. We are within our last 20 minutes of this session. If you have any questions for any mathematical needs, I am here to help. Thank you and have a marvelous Monday. Hello, everyone. If you are just now tuning in, this is the skip count portion session live. That part has already been reviewed. If you would like to review it for yourself, you can rewind the video to the YouTube link that is listed below in the comments. It is pinned in for the Facebook comment live page, and it is listed in the live of the current YouTube page. If you have any questions, I am here to help. I have all mathematical tools and resources to help you with all of your mathematical needs. So you can comment below, and any question, no matter how long or short, they're all important. Please comment below. I am here to help. And we are currently within our last 10 minutes of this tutoring session. So if you have any questions, I suggest you hurry. But of course, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to below under the Facebook or the YouTube page live chat, and I'll be here to help. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday, and thank you for tuning in. All right, you guys, as we wound down this live online tutoring session, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. Well, us being me, joining us today for our live tutoring session. Of course, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything doing with math, all questions are welcome. You are welcome to put them in the comments below. You can inbox me, DM me, or you can text me 205-542-5062. 205-542-5062. That is the Mathematics for You Tutorial Services LLC tutoring line. If you have any questions, we can set up a session outside of the online sessions on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Again, I am here to help if you need anything. We are in this thing together. All right, you guys, I'm going to shut down this beautiful lie. And if you have any questions, again, you can inbox me, DM me, or text me at 205-542-5062. Again, I am Miss Chris. Not tomorrow, but Wednesday. On Wednesday, we are going to tackle fractions. And we're going to do the live a little different. It's going to be a lot more interactive and visual, only because I know fraction is the number one struggle for all those who are learning how to do mathematics. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. So look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for our fraction session. Again, this is Miss Chris of Mathematics for You Tutorial Services LLC, where we are changing mindsets one problem at a time. Have a marvelous Monday and have a good evening.